The Taliban government, often viewed through the prism of its controversial past and human rights record, are now building projects that could redefine Afghanistan and shift the balance of power across Asia. At the heart of this transformation is control. Control over Afghanistan's critical natural resources, such as water, energy, and minerals, and the strategic advantage derived from the country's geographical position. In the last few years, the Taliban have launched and expedited several mammoth construction projects, including the colossal Qosh Tepa Canal, numerous dams, urban redevelopment through the creation of Kabul New City, and groundbreaking efforts to integrate Afghanistan within major regional economic corridors, like China's Belt and Road Initiative, via the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. We're doing a giveaway for a $200 Amazon gift card when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and comment below so we know to add you into the raffle. Thanks, and best of luck to everyone who enters. The Qosh Tepa Canal project, which is acclaimed as the biggest artificial canal in Asia, is among the most remarkable achievements. This huge canal, which is more than 115 kilometers long and as wide as California's popular aqueduct, intends to redirect 20% of the water flow from the Amu Darya River to the arid northern plains of Afghanistan. When finished, it could irrigate more than 550,000 hectares of farmland, which is larger than the size of the U.S. state of Delaware. This could increase Afghanistan's farmable land by 1/3 and propel the country closer to food production self-sufficiency. By allocating more than $100 million to this project, the Taliban have demonstrated their resolve to use natural resources to stabilize Afghanistan's economy and food supply. The construction of a large canal by the Taliban has the potential to increase Afghanistan's agricultural area by roughly 1/3. This project, on which more than $100 million is being spent, is a significant attempt to assist the nation in producing its own food and achieving economic independence. However, this development has sparked concern across neighboring countries such as Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, which also rely heavily on the Amu Darya River for irrigation, particularly for cotton farming. The canal not only symbolizes a grand engineering achievement, but also stands for a geopolitical assertion. Afghanistan asserting its sovereign right to its water share amid growing regional tensions. Beyond canals, the Taliban are accelerating dam construction nationwide with projects like the Bakhshabad Dam, crucial for generating hydroelectric power, providing irrigation, and establishing Afghanistan as an energy producer rather than a dependent importer. These dams give Afghanistan significant leverage in its negotiations with downstream countries on water rights, placing the Taliban in a position of regional influence. Notably, Afghanistan's construction efforts have reportedly experienced a dramatic reduction in corruption compared to the previous US-backed government, with projects being completed effectively and funds being utilized more efficiently. While this is going on, the Taliban have also launched a massive city redevelopment effort known as Kabul New City. Spanning 722 square kilometers, which is roughly 1.5 times the size of Kabul City today, the master plan is to construct over 250,000 residential apartments to house 1.1 to 3 million residents. It offers a modern template for infrastructure in the form of universities, clinics, shopping malls, and parks connected by stable utilities and social services. The 30-year planned multi-stage project aims to mitigate seasonally recurring overcrowding in Kabul and provide an urban environment that is commensurate with current times. Geographically speaking, Afghanistan's strategic location has long been regarded as one of its most valuable advantages. Situated at the intersection of South, Central, and West Asia, it controls vital trade routes that link the thriving Middle Eastern hubs, Pakistan's developing industries, China's enormous markets, and the fertile region of Central Asia. The Taliban have wisely partnered with China and Pakistan to expand the enormous $60 billion China-Pakistan Economic Corridor into Afghanistan after realizing this strategic advantage. The central element of Afghanistan's integration into the regional network is the Trans-Afghan Railway project. The $4.8 billion Trans-Afghan Railway project links Uzbekistan and Pakistan through Afghanistan. Construction of the massive 573-kilometer railway is scheduled to begin in 2025, and it will tremendously cut freight transit times from 35 days to 4 days. It also traverses some of the world's toughest mountainous terrain and will require the building of more than 300 bridges and 5 tunnels. International shipping routes are also reached more effectively by landlocked Afghanistan via the operating CF Herat Railway, which connects the country to Iranian ports. The Taliban's re-emergence also marks the turning point for the long-idle Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, TAPI pipeline project. Designed to transport 33 billion cubic meters of natural gas annually across the 4 nations, the Taliban's resumption of construction on their section of this $10 billion pipeline in September 2024 is a calculated step towards energy independence and regional economic integration. The pipeline, if constructed, will apparently bring in nearly $1 billion a year to the government while providing thousands of Afghan work opportunities, reasserting the country's center-stage role in Central Asian energy geopolitics. Another ambitious transboundary project is Kasa 1000, aimed at transmitting clean hydroelectric power from Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan through Afghanistan into Pakistan. Approved by the World Bank, despite political complexities involving Taliban governance, the $1.2 billion project would supply 300 megawatts to Afghanistan and 1,000 megawatts to Pakistan, providing clean energy to millions of homes and fostering cross-border electricity cooperation. Afghanistan's future economic success really depends on the huge amounts of valuable minerals under its ground. Afghanistan has a massive fortune hidden underground. Trillions of dollars worth of valuable materials like lithium and copper. These are the key ingredients the world needs for clean energy and modern electronics. A major event just happened. The Aynak copper mine, sometimes called ENO, has finally started to dig for copper in a serious way. A major and exciting moment recently occurred at the Aynak copper mine. This huge site, which has been managed by a Chinese company for about 15 years, has finally begun working at full speed. The Taliban are right there, providing the security and making sure things run smoothly, because they see this as the absolute first step to digging up Afghanistan's hidden mineral fortune. The most important part is that the Taliban are hitting these mining operations with big taxes. This aggressive taxation is expected to bring in billions of dollars. Instead of putting the cash away, they are immediately pumping all that money back into their massive national building projects, the new canals, dams, and railways. This creates a clever, self-funding loop. The wealth from the ground pays for the new infrastructure, which then helps the economy grow stronger. Getting the Aynak mine running fully is therefore a key piece of the Taliban's plan to stop relying on outside help and become financially independent by funding their own future. The final fix-up of important national structures, like the dangerous Salang Tunnel, really shows how seriously the Taliban want to bring Afghanistan's main travel routes into the modern age. The huge project to rebuild the 2.7-kilometer tunnel, which cost $100 million and was blasted through the risky Hindu Kush Mountains, is one of the biggest public works the country has ever seen. For years, that tunnel was a blessing and a curse. It was a crucial lifeline linking the north and south of Afghanistan, but it was also known as one of the world's most dangerous roads because it was old, very high up, and constantly clogged with traffic. Fixing it completely should greatly improve trade and deliveries, and most importantly, it will sharply cut down on the bad accidents and deadly snowslides that have happened there for many years, making national travel much safer and more dependable. The fact that the Taliban decided to spend about 1/4 of the country's yearly tax money on just this one tunnel strongly proves they want to show they can govern effectively and that they are serious about rebuilding Afghanistan's economy. This financial decision is a very clear sign of what matters to them. But the Salang Tunnel is only a small piece of a much bigger plan. The Taliban's full infrastructure list covers huge projects in transportation, clean energy, building new cities, like Kabul New City, irrigation, like the Qosh Tepa Canal, and mining for minerals. Together, these huge projects are the foundation of a smart plan. The Taliban want to be seen as legitimate by the Afghan people at home, and gain trust internationally by showing that their power can lead to real, visible progress. However, how well these grand plans actually work depends entirely on whether the government can first keep the country stable, then bring in the outside money and help they need, and manage to keep going despite being mostly ignored by the rest of the world. When combined, these initiatives send a powerful message. The Taliban are not just a political force, but also a new governance organization that uses economic strategy and Afghanistan's natural resources and geography to establish itself in a volatile area. Their resource development and infrastructure initiatives aim to turn Afghanistan from a war-torn backwater into a regional transit hub with expanding urban areas and a variety of energy sources. These large, exciting development plans, despite their potential, are causing some serious problems and creating stress between countries. One of the main worries is the potential for fights over water with neighbors like Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. As Afghanistan pushes ahead with big projects, like the Qosh Tepa Canal, to claim its share of the Amu Darya river water, the tension could easily get worse. Plus, there's hidden competition between powerful countries over who controls the big regional transport projects, like the new Trans-Afghan Railway. Several regional powers are competing for influence, adding several layers of complexity to Afghanistan's integration plans. Internally, there are huge questions about governance, human rights, and economic inclusivity under the Taliban. The international community is trying to figure out how to respond. They have the difficult job of balancing serious concerns about the Taliban's ideological policies, especially on women's rights and education, with the practical necessity of supporting Afghanistan's stability and preventing a humanitarian crisis. The world must decide between engaging with the Taliban to foster development or further isolation because of their political and social policies. In short, the huge building projects happening in Afghanistan under the Taliban show an unexpected and big dream for the Taliban show. These massive construction projects, things like huge water canals and dams for electricity and crops, designing modern cities, building key railways, putting in energy pipelines, and digging up minerals, could entirely transform how Afghanistan earns a living and how important it is in the Asian region. Whether these plans succeed easily or face big problems, they show a huge change in where the country is headed. They make the world look at Afghanistan differently, not just as a war zone, but as a place that could become a key link in Asia's transport and resource networks, the country's future. Thanks for watching. If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. There's more to Afghanistan's transformation than the world realizes. See you in the next one.